YouTube Ozzy and the Goat House is back with Week 13 score predictions, predicting the score to every single game all year long. We take a look at the spreads in these games as well. I have my bets of the week every single week on the Patreon. If you're interested, there's a link there on your screen and down below, as well as our Twitter, constant NFL talk, talking during live games. We actually got one more game left for Week 12. Here it is, Wednesday. We got a Wednesday afternoon game, so we'll be talking live during that game on Twitter. Instagram podcast, a lot going on there. You see down below me here, the Sided app. You'll find some links in the description comments for that. You debate football. You earn points. Can win Amazon gift cards. Pretty cool. Sign up. Follow us. It'd be much appreciated. Subscribe to our channel. Full NFL coverage all year long, even in the offseason. I mentioned that Patreon junior score predictions are on there every single week. My bets of the week for NFL and college football score predictions. Updated NFL playoff predictions, a lot. There's a lot going on there. A lot of you showing your support. Appreciate you very much. Link down below. If you're interested, Week 13 score predictions, first game, Saints-Falcons. This is a tough one. It's probably close to a 50-50 game. Could go either way. They just played a couple weeks ago, which is kind of weird. I don't like that part of the NFL's been doing that for some time now. I don't like that, but whatever. Usually, it almost feels like the team that lost, as long as they're a decent team, lost the last meeting is has the edge because the winning team almost wants to do, the same type of game plan, same thing, and the other team's able to adjust. So that's why the Falcons can win. I'm still rolling with the Saints. I like both defenses right now. Both these teams are pure defense at the moment, which is crazy to think about, really for both, mainly the Falcons. The Falcons had maybe the best defensive performance, not for them, for the entire NFL this season against the Raiders this last week. So that's something. That's definitely something. And when they're healthy, they're pretty good. They're able to get pressure now. I think that was a big factor against Derek Carr. Saints, really solid offensive line. So, I think they'll slow down the pressure a little bit, which could help the Saints get the extra offensive play. And I do trust the Saints defense a little more still. I want to see more from the Falcons, so I'm going with the Saints. Matt Ryan hasn't really been able to get much going since that Saints game. Didn't really have to against the Raiders. But I got them winning by 3, exactly what they're favored by, -3. Saints -3 at Atlanta. That's how the graphics work here if you're new. I got the Saints just making that extra play on offense and on defense here. But crazy to think about that this will be a defensive game. Lions and Bears, still looking to see who's in and out for the Lions. It's going to play a part. Same for the Bears, too. It sounds like Trubisky's going to start, which I thought if Foles was healthy, they'd put him back in. But what we're going to see, and Akeem Hicks, we'll see if he's back. Huge piece, maybe the most important piece of that Bears defense. But looks like Trufant will be out for the Lions, still waiting on Galladay. DeAndre Swift's the key here. I'm assuming they get DeAndre Swift back. That'll open up the run game, not make them one-dimensional, make Stafford's job a little easier. But a big factor here is Matt Patricia firing. Every time a coach is fired, it kind of, somehow motivates the team, and it sounds like the players weren't a fan of Matt Patricia either. So Bevel's going to take over. I think even though they don't really have much to play for, I think it's going to feel like they have something to play for, even though the Bears have more to play for. So I think the Lions get that extra boost. I think DeAndre Swift could have a big game, unlike the last time these two teams met. But it's definitely a 50-50 game, a game that can go either way. Bears are favored by 3, but I had the Lions winning by 3. It's just very hard to trust the Bears' offense right now. And their defense had a disappointing outing. I mean, their offense giving the ball back to their defense sure didn't help that. Or giving the Packers the ball back instantly sure didn't help that. But it's hard to trust the Bears right now. So I'm going to take the Lions. If DeAndre Swift is out along with those other guys that are expected to be, then I may be switching my pick. They when they become one-dimensional, that's when they really struggle. But I think that the Lions definitely trust their offense more. The defense at this point, going against the opposing offenses, I don't know if there's that much of a difference. I like the Bears' defense, obviously, better, but going against the opposing offenses, not so much. So we'll see. It should be a close NFC North game there. Browns and Titans. I got Titans 27-20. Now, this one I'm kind of back and forth on. I like the Titans. I'm confident with the Titans, but I'm back and forth on how much they'll win by. I can actually see them winning by maybe another score, maybe up to 34-20, something like that. I can really see them getting going here. And that's because, you know, they're both going to come out running. But the Titans, we know, they actually can throw the ball pretty darn well, you know, and beat you that way. And if the Titans come out and get up 14-0, 10-0 even, it's going to be a long game for the Browns. It's going to be a long game, and it might be a blowout type game if that's what happens. And I can see that. I guess the Browns can do that as well. Titans actually could come from behind. The Browns defense, they've been looking good. Credit to them. I think they're not as good as they've looked, though. I think the Titans will show it. I think 27 is a lot of points. A lot of points for a game like this because the clock is going to be draining with Derrick Henry on one side, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt on the other side. Both teams are going to try to establish the run. But, again, the Titans have that, you know, those big plays downfield. I mean, the Browns do as well, but you know, with A.J. Brown, he should be getting going. Denzel Ward, is he going to be out again? He may be. So that could be tough. Myles Garrett could be the factor, though, like we always say. I like the Titans, though. I think they kind of match each other in terms of the run game. But I think the Titans got that extra, you know, boost in the passing game. Their defense, you know, they picked it up a little bit against the Colts, so we'll see if they can continue to pick it up. I like the Titans here. Controlling this game by at least 7. They're minus 5.5 against the Browns, favored by 5.5 against the Browns. Bengals, Dolphins. Yeah, I don't expect the Bengals to score much. I don't know. 13 might be the max. You know, they may not even score 10. We see the Dolphins hold the Jets to 3. Bengals without Joe Burrow. Yes, they have a pretty good receiver unit, but the Dolphins have the secondary to cover that. To beat the Dolphins defense, you got to establish the run. You got to use the run game, and the Bengals could do that, but no Joe Mixon. The Dolphins really aren't going to fear the pass too much with Allen at quarterback. They're probably going to stack the box when they feel it's an obvious passing situation, which is third down, third and somewhat long, even close long. They're going to blitz. The Dolphins are going to blitz the crap out of the Bengals. And the Bengals won't score much here. So I got them scoring 10 points. The Dolphins, I don't expect them scoring a whole bunch of points here. Tua should be back. They'll kind of manage the clock. You know, they probably could score more points, but they'll kind of manage the clock. They got to be careful, though. You know, the Bengals are pretty sneaky on defense. They can make plays. Jesse Bates, arguably the best safety in football right now. So they got to be a little careful, but they know that. You know, they know they're going to win with defense. They're just going to worry about running the clock. But I do have them winning by 14. They're favored by 11, so that's interesting as well. Next game, Jags-Vikings. I got a 7-point win. Vikings are minus 9.5. That's a lot. I mean, they could do it. They can win by double digits. I got them winning by 7, though. I think James Robinson can have a pretty good day. You know, the only reason that could fail and the Vikings can win by more than the spread or more than what I got them is if the Vikings get up huge right away. I don't know if I see that. You know, they can get up right away, but if they get up by 14 or so right away, it's going to take away the run game from James Robinson. It's going to be tough on Glennon, and the Vikings are probably going to win in close to blowout fashion. But the Vikings it seems like they kind of lose, you know, games like this. You know, they lost to the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. So it's going to be, I just don't trust, Glennon had a good game last week against the Browns. I just don't trust him fully still. So I have the Vikings taking care of business here. Their offense looked good. Kirk Cousins looks really good right now, which is crazy given where he started. You know, the way he started this year was the worst of his career, and now he's playing the best of his career right now. So, you know, he's and kind of what I knocked, you know, why I was kind of done with him after earlier in the year because he can't move. He couldn't roll outside the pocket, throw on the run. It's exactly what he's doing at a high level right now. It's very strange. You know, I guess they got to establish the run for that to happen, though. But I think they can do that in this game. I think they can do it. They'll get Thielen back. So I got them winning 30-23. Should be, never know with them, but they should be comfortable. They can't get pressure. That's the problem on defense. They cannot get pressure on anybody. So that could be what you know, like the Cowboys game, what backfires on them, but we'll see. Raiders, Jets. I got the Raiders taking care of business 31-16. Jets get a little more offense going, you know, going against Dolphins defense, now going against Raiders defense, a little bit more offense, 16 points. The Raiders, you know, they lost 2 in a row. They're definitely angry about that last game. And they know they can make a statement of this game, but they know they have to. You know, they have to. They can't just squeak by in a game like this, especially when they're, you know, angry about the last couple games. So I got them winning by over 2 touchdowns actually, just over that. So -8. Raiders looking pretty good to cover there. If that was a touchdown, if it was -7, I'd feel extremely, extremely confident. I still am pretty confident about this because you see I have them covering by quite a bit more than 8, but Yeah, 7. Like I said, if all you got to do is win by a touchdown, over a touchdown, you're looking pretty good. But yeah, Raiders will take care of business in this one. Good time to have the Jets scheduled. Colts, Texans. I got the Colts by 3, and they happen to be favored by 3. So the Texans are hot right now. They're hot. Deshaun Watson's playing as good as anybody in football right now, playing like an MVP. The Texans good enough to help them win MVP. They could win out. Who knows? They can win out. They can make some noise. I thought about the Texans this one. Will Fuller and Bradley Roby, mainly Will Fuller being suspended, really hurt. Will Fuller is a key piece to this offense. Speed could actually been. It could have been dominant against. They still got Brandon Cooks, Kiki Kute, but Will Fuller could have dominated in a game like this. The Colts heavy cover 2 scheme. Texans still could win, but I like the Colts bounce back game here. It's tricky though. Why the Colts are a tricky team to pick, because we really don't know. I mean, we know what they're about in offense. They mainly want to play quick, small ball. And it works. It's fast. They're pretty good at it, and they play defense to support that. But in games like this, you got to come out establishing the run. And can they? They can, but can we trust them fully on that? And can we trust Rivers to take care of the ball and execute? It's tough. I think it's a similar matchup to the Packers game, which they executed. Obviously, they came back and won. They did force 4 turnovers in the Packers in that game. They did turn the ball over twice themselves in that game. I don't think there's going to be anywhere near that many turnovers. So even though it's a similar matchup, it could be a totally different ball game. But I got the Colts. Taking care of business. No Will Fuller on the opposing side. Costanzo's out, but the Texans, do they have that? J.J. Watt's picking up, but do they have that great of a pass rush right now where the Colts fear them that much? They got to get the run game going. I'm kind of leaning towards that they get it going. It's just, who are they feeling? Are they feeling Hines? Are they feeling Taylor? Is Taylor on? We've seen him not being able to see holes for some reason sometimes, and sometimes he's good against the Packers. It's a similar run defense here. Not good. Similar defense in general. So that's why the Colts are such a tough team to predict, all those reasons. But and then the defense makes that extra play, and then the offense makes that extra play. They'll play the Texans again, and that'll be a tougher one, I think, playing them a second time. This is a must-win for the Colts. They're trying to keep up with the Titans. They're trying to make the playoffs in general. I think playing the Texans the second time in a couple weeks will be tougher than this one, actually. Because the Colts are a little easier game plan the second time around. We see the Titans. So this is a must win for the Colts. If they lose this game, they might be in trouble. Not the easiest schedule the rest of the way. I got them squeezing by, though. It's an interesting game. You got to see if it's all up in the air when the Colts are on and off. Rams and Cardinals, I got more of a defensive game than maybe some would expect, a 24-20 here. The Rams are actually -3. I got the Rams. Kyler Murray, bad game against the Patriots. He can really pick it up in this game, but it's a tough one to do it against, because the Rams' defense is very good defense. They'll keep him contained. They'll do a good job of that. They'll bring the pressure. The Patriots, a team that has not been able to get pressure, they were able to not only, they were able to keep him inside, but get pressure at the same time, make him just back straight up, throw off his back foot. They made it a nightmare game almost for Kyler Murray there. So I think the Rams can do the same thing here. They're a very good defense. They swarm to the ball. The entire defense swarms to the ball. That's key for this game. So, and then you look at DeAndre Hopkins, who's maybe the best receiver in football. Jalen Ramsey going to be on him. DeAndre Hopkins will still make some noise, but he'll be slowed down a little bit. Ramsey's the best in football right now, so that's going to slow him down. It's going to be up to the other guys, Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk on the deep shots. It's going to be up to them to make those plays and get separation. It really is. It's going to have to be somewhat early separation as well. The Rams, it's up to Goff not to turn the ball over like a psychopath. That's the only thing hurting them. But I still like the Rams offense. There's something with the Niners that just doesn't work. With McVay and his offense and Jared Goff. I like the Rams offense. I like the Cardinals offense too. But you look at the Cardinals offense with the Rams defense, Rams offense with the Cardinals defense. I like the way the Rams match up on both sides of the ball there. So they do just enough. They're kind of sometimes too worried about running the clock too much. Why? Maybe I got 24 points, but that could hurt them along with Goff turning the ball over. But I just like the way they match up, and they can slow down the Cardinals offense just enough and make that extra play on offense. That should be a good game. It's a really important game for the NFC West, but I got the Rams taking care of business. Giants, Seahawks, it sounds like it's going to be Colt McCoy. Therefore, Seahawks should take care of business, 27-13. If Daniel Jones plays, this is actually a trap game, I think. And I would still pick the Seahawks. I would still pick the Seahawks. Don't get me wrong here, but a lot closer than you think, and it could be a trap game for the Seattle Seahawks. Daniel Jones has been pretty good when he's been healthy out there, playing. He's getting the ball downfield. He's running himself, which he's kind of always done. He hasn't really been turning the ball over either. The Seahawks defense slightly improving, we think, but still a defense you can score on. You can move the ball on. Giants, it's a weird team. Even though they're labeled as not that good of a team, they actually been able to move the ball on pretty much anybody too. And the Seahawks defense, not the best. It's just about turning the ball over, taking care of the ball. Defensively, they are a sneaky good defense. They're locked down in coverage. They're pretty good at taking away top-tier targets. James Bradbury doing a really good job. So DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, they can slow these guys down. They're not going to stop them. They can slow them down enough. And they can stop the run as well. So if Daniel Jones is playing, it's going to be an interesting matchup for the Seattle Seahawks, but I don't think he does, and I don't think they score enough points there. And I think Seahawks get 27 will definitely be enough here. So good for them to have Chris Carson back. He's a beast. Defense, like I said, looks like it's improving. By how much, we really don't know. Cardinals game looked good. Eagles game, it should look good. It did. Jamal Adams looking like he's playing better ball, looking a little more rangy like we thought he would be. -10, winning by, about 14 there. So if Daniel Jones is out, I kind of like them with that spread, but we'll see. We got to monitor that, I suppose. Eagles-Packers, another one I think closer than you think, perhaps. That could backfire. I'll talk about that in a second, how that could backfire. But the Packers are favored by 9.5, and I got them winning by 5 points here. I think they'll be comfortable the whole way. They'll be up pretty much the whole game. Packers are a serious contender in the NFC, but things they got to clean up is kind of when the offense shuts down. But even when they get cold, I should say. Even when it does, they still score enough points. It's mainly the run game on defense. And that goes into this being a closer game. I think Doug Peterson's going to realize, okay, we have to get Miles Sanders going. In general, now we're playing the Packers, one of the worst run defenses in football. I mean, David Montgomery was able to run on them. There was some giant holes. So one of the worst run defense in football. We have to get Miles Sanders going, who has the ability to get going. He gets cold sometimes, dropping the ball, not hitting the hole, but he can be explosive at times. So I think he really gets going. And that can actually open things up for Carson Wentz. He can have a decent game. Can't expect too much from him at this point. I don't mind the Eagles' defense. Darius Slay got beat up still a good corner, got beat up pretty bad at DK Metcalf. Now he's going against Devontae Adams. You could say a similar thing happens, but they had to split up so much and just focus on one-on-ones because Tyler Lockett is another factor, just as good, totally different type of receiver as DK Metcalf, but just as good, obviously. Packers, don't get me wrong, they got some guys that can play, but it's mainly Devontae Adams out there that they got to worry about. So it's going to be a little different. I think it'll be a little easier, actually, even though I think we view Devontae Adams as better than DK Metcalf. It's much different situation. In the Eagles, they actually get pressure. Again, the Packers got a good offensive line, but they actually can get good pressure against a good offensive line. They stop the run pretty well, So I think they match up pretty well against the Packers, actually. But the Packers are the better team. And they're going to win the game because of that, but like I said earlier, this could backfire. This could backfire being a closer game. It could backfire with the Miles Sanders getting going thing, and that is very possible. How that could backfire is the Packers start off extremely hot, kind of like they did against the Bears, actually. They score again. They get a turnover on Wentz like they did in the Bears game, they get up big right away where they take away the run game, make them one-dimensional, make Carson Wentz throw the ball, pick them off, sack them, do their thing. Then it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a blowout for the Packers. And that's very realistic, what I just said. So that way, it's possible the Packers can win in blowout fashion. But Eagles got to get the ball first. They got to win the coin toss. They got to get the ball first. They got to pound it with Miles Sanders. They got to make a statement here. That's going to have to be key. So it can go one of two ways, like I just said. But I got the Packers winning. But I have a feeling they're gonna get Miles Sanders. They're gonna have to make it closer. Patriots, Chargers. I like the Chargers. I'm going upset with the Chargers. I was kind of looking at the matchups earlier in the week. I usually do it during the games of the previous week. And I saw this match, and I'm like, I'm kind of feeling the Chargers in this one. And there was no line at that time, and I'm thinking they're going to be underdogs. Yeah, I'm picking the upset here. It still feels like the upset, but surprisingly ended up being an even line. So Vegas kind of feeling the same thing as me here. So there's got to be a reason for that they see something as well. I got the Chargers winning. It's just hard to trust this this coaching staff fully. There's a much, much better coaching staff on the other side, so it could backfire. Chargers defense played a really good game against the Bills. They're getting healthier. They get Chris Harris back. They can actually get some guys back this week as well. We'll see about that. Still quite a few guys were out, but Joey Bosa was playing, and he's been playing for the most part this year, but he's been playing hurt. He was playing healthy last week. He was dominant. So I think he'll get after Cam Newton. The Patriots will be one-dimensional, and they can be. They can win still doing that, running the ball. They're going to have to get the ball outside. I think this will be another James White game. They're going to have to get the ball outside. But can they win with only that? They could slow down Herbert. They can throw him off a little bit, but he's still going to get those chunk plays, those big plays, those points. He's not going to get a whole lot. So get those points. They're going to get Eckler going a little more. But my point is the Chargers will score. Patriots will score with the run game as well, but will they score enough being one-dimensional? I like the Chargers at home here, but it's obviously a game that can go either way. Even though it's an even line, I believe I'm picking the underdog in a way, the upset in a way. But it's kind of been back and forth with Patriots as well. So this kind of would go with the trend as well there. I'm going Chargers. I got 26-24. Clock will come off because the Patriots offense. I think we'll see some good red zone defenses from these teams, which will force some field goals. But Herbert will make that extra play. Their defense, Joey Bosa, Chris Harris, these guys will make that extra play. We'll see though. I'm actually excited for that game. Because it's an either way game. Not so much of either way game. The line happened to be exactly how much I picked them to win by. Winning 34-20 there. I got the Chiefs. Last time they played, the Chiefs won with defense and special teams. They didn't really have to use their offense. That kind of makes me more confident in a game like this because if they have to use their offense to win the game, they are going to go win the game. The Broncos are going to be pissed off though. About getting their quarterback, not being able to play their quarterback, so they're going to be fresh. They're going to be ready to go, so they'll get some points here. The Chiefs are just too damn good for the Broncos here, 34-20. Washington Steelers, I got a really low scoring game here. This will be, what is this, Monday night? 2 Monday night games, Tuesday night game. Low scoring in my opinion. And this is one that could backfire as well. I'll explain why. But I think mainly low scoring because the Steelers haven't really seen a good pass rush like this. The Ravens got a pretty good pass rush, but it's mainly because of blitz, and you kind of can scheme around that. They haven't really seen a really good defensive front that consistently gets pressure. So this actually be a test for the Steelers. It's always a test when you're undefeated. You know how hard it is to stay undefeated no matter who you play. And Washington's not. You can't take them lightly. They're heating up a little bit. So it's actually going to be tough. They're going to get pressure on Big Ben. They're going to do their thing there. They got a pretty good secondary, I think, due to their front four mainly in their rotation. Helps them out. I worry about Washington getting points though. They're really getting the run game going, but the Steelers stop the run. They get pressure. When Alex Smith's under pressure, he panics a little bit. He doesn't want to do anything downfield. They're just not going to be able to get enough points. They're going to have to. I'm trying to think what could get them. They're going to have to make turnovers on defense, which they could do. They could do it because the defense is pretty good. It's a well-coached defense. The front's really good. But I'm trying to think how could they get a spark, on offense. It's going to have to be Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. They're going to be getting constant pressure in this game. Steelers get enough points here. And why I said in the beginning of this, what I meant by backfiring being a close game, I meant the Steelers actually could win by a lot more in this. They get turnovers on offense or on defense, and that can help them score, more points. On offense, they could get things going because Washington plays a lot of zone coverage. They rely on getting pressure. Steelers got a long list of receivers that can play all over the place, get quick things going. The scheme for them to get open, and that could work, very well against the secondary. It could be their weakness, so they actually could get some things going on offense. But it's going to be a test. It's going to be a test for the Steelers. They haven't really seen a front like this. They're -10. I got the winning by 7. It's going to be in that ballpark, though. 7-10. Again, they can score on defense, so that could help. So should be an interesting game. It's always interesting to see. And again, the Steelers still got to play literally this afternoon in a couple hours. So maybe they won't be undefeated by the time you're listening to this or going into this game. But I expect them to be. Bills, Niners, another defensive game. Someone's actually in Arizona. So the Arizona Niners here. This could go either way, actually. But I do like the Bills. The Bills should win this game because they're the better team with all the injuries the Niners have. They actually got healthier. Got some running backs back. Deebo Samuel back, playing healthy. Richard Sherman, some guys on defense. Bills defense, though, heating up. It's getting really good. It's getting a lot better. I think it's the difference in this one. I think they can turn the ball over, make Mullins turn the ball over. I think the Niners are going to have to come out and establish the run game, get Deebo Samuel involved as well, and they can do that. That could be the difference here. But I really like where the Bills' defense is heading. But I do like the Niners' defense still. So I think this will be a low-scoring game. I think the Bills' defense makes that extra play. I think Josh Allen makes that extra play, the better quarterback. It's a much better quarterback, so they got to win this game. So I think they'll win because of that. 23-17, low-scoring. Here, Josh Allen's got to take care of the ball. Mullins got to take care of the ball. Again, I like the Bills' defense. I think they make that extra play because they're really heating up the last few weeks. They're playing a lot better. Pretty much every unit too. The D-line, the linebacker unit. AJ Klein's been playing out of his mind. Secondary, see Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, guys like that really starting to step up. So I think the defense makes that extra play. That's why I got that. And then we go to no line yet because the Ravens haven't played this week. I'm guessing maybe there's a line by the time you're recording, or listening to this. Bad matchup for the Cowboys. Terrible matchup. It's a good bounce back game for the Ravens if they need it. The Ravens are really good at blitzing. They're going to blitz the crap out of Andy Dalton. It's going to work. The Cowboys will need to get the ball out quick. Running game won't work. They'll get the ball out quick, but they're going against some tight coverage corners there, so they'll be up pressing them as they should. So it's really not going to work. They're going to be blitzing them instantly. They're not going to be able to do much here. They're not going to be able to do much of anything. But they'll have that big wow play to Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb, whatever it is, that'll get their score there, 13 points. Ravens will run the clock in offense like Lamar could have a good day running, but they're mainly going to win with defense here. They're going to win with defense. They're not going to score it up big time. They could, but they're going to manage the clock, roll the clock. They'll win this game with defense and running the clock, like we said. So it's a terrible match for the Cowboys. It's a fantastic matchup for the Ravens, on top of them being the much better team as it is, mainly because the Cowboys have a bunch of injuries, obviously some crucial ones that we know of. But yeah, the Ravens take care of business here. Shouldn't be a shocker. But that wraps up the Week 13 score predictions, like we do every week. We got weekly picks. We got power rankings, every single week. Plenty of NFL content, even in the offseason. So please subscribe. Turn notifications on. If you liked the video, smash that like button. Be much appreciated. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.